The power of perception. Today, we're going to learn about Toastmasters brand identity and the why is so important to follow Toastmasters guidelines and how we can help you improve when creating flyers, whether it's to promote your club, your area, or even your district. Now, first of all, let's start with the inspirational quote for today, which is related with our topic. Your brand hinges on customers' perception. And first, let's define what is a brand and what do we mean when we're talking about branding and how all of these elements come together. A brand is a name, term, design, symbol, or any other feature that distinguishes one seller's goods or service from those other services. Like these brands that we know, right? Mm-hmm. Even this one. When we're talking about branding in marketing, it refers to the process of building a positive perception of your company, products, and services. And in the customer's mind, combining all the elements such like the logo, the design, the mission statement, and consistent theme throughout all the marketing communication like the email, social media, print, advertising, and others. Now, why it is so important, the perception of how people perceive your brand. A customer perception is the way people feel about your product or your brand. Before your customer even engage with your brand or your product for the first time, they already have a form and idea of what their experience will look like with your brand. Their expectations may be driven by reviews, internal beliefs, advertising, or other influences. The experience needs to meet their expectations to make sure they always get a positive perception about your brand. As everything we do in Toastmasters, we translate them to real life. Whether it's you're starting a business, you want to promote your business, this presentation will help you to create a strong brand by utilizing the same tools. Even though this presentation is all about Toastmasters brand, think about your brand by following the same guidelines. A strong brand can be possible by keeping the same messaging through all the graphics and all your platforms. Utilizing the approval branding will help you meet a positive expectation from the customer. Everything from the logo specification, the fonts, the color palette must comply with the brand specifications. During this presentation, you are going to learn more about Toastmasters brand guidelines by combining all the correct elements. But before we start, let's do a little exercise. If you can recognize this brand by just looking at this color palette, please unmute yourself for just a quick second and shout out what is the first brand that comes to your mind when you see these colors. McDonald's. Awesome. With only looking at the color palette, you were able to recognize the McDonald's brand. And why is that? Because you're familiar with this brand. You know all the elements, the colors, the fonts, and the brand. For example, if you're on vacation in Hong Kong and you come across a McDonald's, even if you're a vegetarian, this brand makes you feel like at home because you were able to identify something from home, even though you're far away from home. And it may also make you smile. Now let's see another example. Can you recognize this brand by only looking at this element?
Amazon.
Awesome. Yes, it's Amazon. And you were able to recognize this brand by just looking at one of the elements of the brand because this is the element that stands out in every Amazon item. Amazon is very careful about their brand and its elements. They're very consistent. No matter where in the world you see these elements, you will be able to identify them. And keep in mind that Amazon has millions of sellers around the world, and they are not allowed to play around with any of the elements or colors of their brand. Now let's try this last example. Can you recognize this brand by just looking at this color palette?
Toastmasters.
Yeah. Of course, Toastmaster brand. Because all of you are Toastmasters, you were able to recognize this color palette. Those are the why we must be consistent with every single graphic we create, whether it's for social media posts, a flyer, a t-shirt, a poster, any other Toastmaster promotional item. These are the reasons why we must comply with the same branding. Now, we saw the consistency in every single brand, right? And the reason is because every company and organization, they have their own corporate branding specifications. For example, McDonald's, from how to utilize the brand and how not to use it, starting with how to place the logo, what colors of logo you may use, where and what combinations of logo or colors you may use, etc. The same with Amazon. They're very consistent with the rules of how to use and how not to use the logos or any of the elements of their brand. And of course, the same as Toastmasters. You can find Toastmasters branding on the Toastmasters website. By the way, Toastmasters just released as recent as last week the new brand guidelines. If you don't have it, don't worry. We're going to post it in the chat at the end of this presentation, and I'm going to show you where to find them also. Today, we're going to learn about the power of perception and how to protect Toastmasters brand. This applies to the clubs, the area division, and even the whole District 47. If you're anywhere around the world and you Google any Toastmasters club, the brand should make you feel the same way it makes you feel at home. Because when you see a Toastmasters club with your organization brand, you know exactly what to expect. When you find a club outside of your area and the branding is off, the colors are off, or even the logo is slightly different, you may wonder if you would have the same experience as your club back home. Not knowing what to expect in a Toastmasters meeting is not a good thing. In fact, is a negative feeling. We want to make sure that when somebody comes across to any of your graphics, flyers, social media posts, their first perception is received in a positive way. During this presentation, you will learn how to use every single element the correct way, even if you're not an expert graphic designer. Although, we will make sure that you look like one. In today's agenda, we're going to only focus on two things. The first one is the brand platform and the visual guidelines. And we're also going to explain what all this means. We will show you where to find all the resources so you will be able to make your flyers following Toastmasters brand guidelines. I know most of you are non-graphic designers. Some of you probably have never done a flyer before, or maybe have no idea where to start. Some of you may be graphic designers and can do beautiful flyers, but may not be following the Toastmasters brand guidelines. Or you just want to learn more about Toastmasters brand guidelines. If you fall into any of these categories, perfect. It means that this workshop is just for you. And at the end, we will have a couple of minutes to answer any question you may have. We want every single one of you to walk away with as much knowledge possible about Toastmasters brand and how to make beautiful graphics by complying with Toastmasters guidelines. Now, what is a brand platform? A brand platform is a description of the organization's identity, strategies for messaging, and the overall images that's used to guide the company's organization forward. Now, let's review Toastmasters brand platform, starting with Toastmaster tagline, where leaders are made. This tagline helps the organization to convey their mission and purpose. The Toastmasters core value, integrity, respect, service, and excellence. These values are the core of Toastmasters and stand behind every decision. The brand promise for Toastmasters is empowering individuals through personal and professional development. This promise encompasses all aspects of growth for members. Toastmasters personality should reflect how the organization interacts with communication, external media, social posts, and any other outlet. And of course, all adjustments can be made to reflect each culture, language, but the personality of the brand must be universal, with strong elements of leadership, dedication, and empowerment. The voice and tone has to be clear and show confidence and be compassionate, but yet respectful and friendly. And of course, professional. The tone should always be positive, upbeat, and enthusiastic, but also serious when necessary. And last but not least, we have District 47 subtagline, fun plus recognition equals growth. This subtagline was approved by Toastmaster International Branding, and it was created by and for our district only. It is a way to portray how our district have fun while learning and recognizing our members as we all grow together. Next, we have the visual guidelines. The visual guidelines are the elements that we use to deliver our message. During this presentation, we will also share some ideas of how can you incorporate Toastmaster elements into your graphics, such as the logos, the fonts, the images, and using the correct color palette, bringing your creativity into life without compromising Toastmasters brand. Even if you're not an expert, and as I said, we are going to make you look like one. Some of the visual guidelines that we're going to be presenting here today are the official logo, the logo word marks, the logo lookups, and how you can customize them for your club or division without compromising the logo, the Toastmasters brand, the logos and the brand do and don'ts, Toastmaster color palette and how to find them regardless of platform you're using for your graphics, such as either Canva or you're using Office. And when I say Office, I mean PowerPoint, Word, or Publisher. The official fonts and what fonts to use in case the platform that you're using do not have them. We're also going to share with the professional images as well as real people images. And when I talk about real people images, I'm talking about people from your club, your district, or your area. And I will share the location of the resources and how to find them on Toastmasters website. I know Toastmaster website can be sometimes a little bit overwhelming. The good news is that Toastmaster International just recently updated their website, and it has never been easier to find every single element for Toastmasters graphic in the website. And I'm going to show you to that today because I'm very excited about that. And remember, this presentation is with the intention to make your life much easier. Let's start with the official logo. As officers of Toastmasters, whether you are VP of Public Relations or any other officer in your club, your area division, or even in the district, helping with the creation of graphics and flyer, you must protect the brand at all times. The first thing to keep in mind is when using Toastmasters official logo, you must protect the logo and the area around it. This means that there should always be a clear area space around the logo that is equal or greater than a distance of an X or a text as indicated in their diagram. If you can't fit a text around the logo, top, bottom, and sides, it means that the logo is too close to the picture, to the text, or another color, or there is not enough contrast in the picture. Toastmasters logo is the integral piece of the visual identity, and we want to thank you all for being here to learn how to apply it correctly. Always keeping in mind the clear space around the logo. This rule applies for the use of the logo, whether it's for the print or any web application. These are the only 3 logos approved by Toastmaster International: the full color, the grayscale, and the white logo. You can find all these logos with a transparent background on the website. You can use all these logos with the following backgrounds. You can use it with the blue, the maroon, and the gray. And only the full color and the grayscale, you can use it with the yellow and the white background. Avoid using the white logo with the yellow background. That is a no-no. If you're using a picture for your graphic, make sure there is enough clear space around or contrast around the logo, like you see in this picture. As you can see, the logo does not stand out when we use a heavy background. So avoid using the logo over a picture with a heavy background that does not have enough contrast or does not stand out. This is a nice graphic. However, based on what you just learned about displacement of the logo, we can see what is wrong with it. First of all, the logo does not have a clear space around it. Not only it's over a busy picture where the logo does not stand out, but it also plays over 3 different backgrounds: the maroon, the blue, and the heavy background picture. This could have been a really beautiful graphic, but because of the placement, it's all wrong. Always make sure that the logo is placed in a flat, clear space around it, and you can fit an X or a text around the logo, top, bottom, and sides. This is a very good example of how to place a logo on a flyer. You can follow Toastmasters brand guidelines and still be creative and create a beautiful flyer. Know the clear space around the logo. If you're promoting your club, you should only use the official logo like in this example. And keep in mind that you can use the full color, grayscale, or the white logo. Another example of the logo placement that should not be used: avoid copying a logo encapsulated in with another background just to make it fit into your graphic. For this particular graphic, we could have used all 3 different official logos: the white, the full color, and the grayscale, and they will all fit in this graphic easily. So avoid trying to make it fit with a background. There's a couple of violations in this graphic. Let's start with the stretch logo. We cannot stretch the logo to make it fit. As much as many of us, including myself, I love the rays are no longer part of Toastmasters branding. However, you can still use it as an element incorporating into your design as long as the logo is not placed over the rays, like in this flyer. Another violation of this logo placement is that there's no clear space around it, and instead it's placed over a gray, a beige, and the rays. We should never add a glow around the logo, even if the idea is to make the logo stand out. As presented in the previous graphic, we should never place the logo over the rays. As mentioned before, you may use the rays in your design as long as the logo is not over the rays. You cannot create any logo utilizing Toastmasters brand elements such as the fonts, the colors, or the design that may be confused by the Toastmasters logo. Avoid utilizing any Toastmasters brand elements to create your own. I know how you may feel. I recently created this beautiful logo for District 47, which I was so proud of, only to find out that we cannot use it. This is a perfect example why we cannot create our own logo utilizing Toastmasters brand elements. Because though it doesn't say Toastmasters anyway, it doesn't have the logo, but because we're using Toastmasters brand elements like the fonts, the colors, and even the design like the circle, it can be easily confused for a Toastmasters logo. I know many of you are very proud of your club and you would like to create a logo to promote your club. If you want to promote your club utilizing Toastmasters logo, you can add the name of your club by using any of the logos or the lookups that I will present today. And I will also show you some examples how to use them or create them. We have here 3 logo watermarks and the 3 logo lookups. As you can see, all of these logo lookups can be downloaded with a transparent background. You can see the logo watermarks and the logo lookups in your graphics. You can use them to promote your club or your division. I will also show you some possible backgrounds combination. Now, the gray that you see with the white font is not the real Toastmasters gray. I just put it a little bit darker so you'll be able to see the white watermark. Some combinations are with the white logo. You can use the blue background, the maroon, and the gray with all these 6 logo lookups. You may only use these 4 logo word marks and logo lookups with the yellow background and the white background. Another logo lookup will be the logo with the white Toastmaster website and the logo lookup with the white tagline. You may also find these logo lookups with transparent backgrounds on Toastmasters website, and some of the combinations of the background may be the blue and the maroon and the gray. Avoid using any white lettering with the yellow background or with white fonts. You will also find the 3 logos for pathways, full color, grayscale, and white. And some of the background combinations that you can utilize are the white logo with the blue and maroon and the gray background. The pathway full color and grayscale logos may be used with the yellow, the gray, and the white background. Avoid using the full color and grayscale pathway logos over the blue and the maroon. You may also find the pathways badges with a transparent background on the website, and you can use these elements to promote pathways in your club. For our District 47, Southeast Florida, and the island of the Bahamas, there was created these 2 logos. We have 2 different kind of logos. We have the stack logo and we have the flat logo. For both logos, we have 2 different kinds. We have the full color and the white logo. And these logos were created only for the use by and for the district. Please do not change any aspect of this logo. This logo should be used only for announcement for and by the district. If you're making a flyer for your club, your division, please use any of the official logos that I just presented previously, the full color, the grayscale, or the white logo. These are the only logos you may not be able to find in the website. If you are working on flyers for the district, please let us know and we will send you a high resolution PNG file with these logos with a transparent background for you and your team to use. Now with the full color of District 47 Stack Up logo, you can use it with the white, the yellow, and the gray background. With the white stack logo, you can use the maroon, the blue, and the gray background. As I mentioned before, this is the flat District 47's logo lockup. We also have two colors. The full color and the white was also created only for District 47. As the previous logo, this must be used only to promote any message or event from and by the district. If you're creating a flyer for the district and you don't have enough space for the stack logo, you can use this one. Please do not change any element of this logo to make it fit into your design. It should always work the other way around, making the design to fit into the utilization of these logos so we won't compromise Toastmasters brand. For the full color logo, we can use the background white, yellow, and gray. For the white logo, we may use the blue, maroon, and gray background. These are not proper combinations. Please avoid using a background that does not allow you to see part of the logo lockup clearly. And again, please do not change any element of the branding, such as the background color, just to fit into your flyer, including making your background more clear to fit a specific logo. You have the combination, so you can have many ideas how to utilize them. Last but not least, Toastmasters approved subtagline for our district to use. We have two different versions, the white and yellow version that may be used with the maroon, blue, and gray background, and the full color, which is the maroon and the blue font, to use with the white, gray, and yellow background. The subtagline is not available on Toastmasters website. We will be sending you this presentation with the high definition of this specific tagline, so you can use it on your design. We want to make sure that we send you this file so we can keep consistency even with the subtagline. This subtagline can be used for everyone to promote your club, your area, division, or district as well. As I mentioned before, you may be able to utilize Toastmasters official logo with your club or division, a club name. How can you customize a logo for your club or division or even the area? You can use any of the official logo, the full color, grayscale, or white. For the purpose of this example, I'm only going to use the full color and the white logo, but you can utilize the grayscale too. Remember, you can download all these logos with the transparent background directly from the website. You can add your club's or division name under the logo. Keep in mind the required space below the logo, between the logo and the wording. You can also add the foundation year of your club, like in this example. And some of the combination of the background are like the white, the yellow, the blue, and the maroon that I just showed you. The same background combination that I showed previously are the same one that applies here. Keep in mind to always leave the required space between the logo and the club's name. If you're using Canva, you can add your club's name using Montserrat Extra Bold for the name of your club. And for the word since, I originally used the font Alex Brush, but now you can use any of the new script fonts presented by Toastmasters, and the year of the foundation of your club can be Montserrat Classic font. I will share with you those new fonts when we talk about the fonts. If you're utilizing Office, when I mean Office, I mean PowerPoint, Publisher, or Word, you can use the fonts from the Arial family. And for the word since, you can use Edwardian script. Please keep in mind the required space again between the logo and the club's name. I cannot stress that enough. You can also use Toastmasters flat logo lookup, but in this case, you can only add your club's name or division name. You cannot change the date in the logo lookup to replace it for your club's foundation year. This is part of Toastmasters brand that must be respected. As a reminder, again, keep in mind the space between the logo below and the name of your club. And some combinations of the background for the white lettering will be the blue and the maroon, and for the blue lettering or the word mark could be the white and the yellow. Or the gray, like in this case. Avoid using logos with white wordmark over yellow background or full color over background that is hard to read, like the maroon or the blue. Keep in mind the combination background that I showed you previously. We show some examples of how to use Toastmasters logo the correct way and some of the ones that we should not use. But let's see some other examples of the don'ts, how not to use Toastmasters logo. Do not put the logo in perspective. Don't disproportionately scale the logo. Don't change the proportion of the logo elements. Don't change any element of the logo. Don't customize or create logos for club district over the logo. Don't change the logo colors. Don't place the logo on colors that are not the Toastmasters brand color palette. Do not use any copy, slogans, symbols, or images overlapping the logo. And don't create any glow behind the logo. These are some of the don'ts. Now that we learn a little bit more about the logo, it's time to learn about Toastmasters color palette. These are the Toastmasters official color palettes. 3 primary colors, blue, maroon, and gray. These colors can be used for backgrounds and cover larger areas of your graphic or promotional items. Also, black and white. Black and white can also be used when designing materials for Toastmasters. The black may not be used as a background, but you can incorporate black elements into your design. Let's say little designs, or if you want to use a font black, you can use it. And the accent color yellow, mostly used for backgrounds or to give the graphic a little bit of fun life. The official name of the colors are Lawyer Blue, True Maroon, Cool Gray, and Happy Yellow. Below each color, you're going to find the numbers of each color depending on the platform. If you're using Canva, you will use hex, which is HEX, which stands for hexadecimal. If you're printing using the 4-color process, you will use CMYK, which stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and key, which is black. And if you're printing a banner, you may use Pantone or any other separation of colors. And if you're using Office, you may be using RGB. It's important to keep those numbers in mind when you're creating a graphic because there's a lot of different shades. Like, for example, I added the numbers for black and white because, as you know, there are plenty of shades of black and white. And we want to make sure that we always use the correct one. There are also gradient colors for you to use for the backgrounds for your graphics. We're not going to go over the gradient backgrounds because of the lack of time, but you can look them up on Toastmasters website. All these numbers are available on a website, and if you're working on any promotional item, you should have these numbers to keep the consistencies in all your graphics, whether it's a post for social media, a flyer, or prints, you're printing a sign or a banner. If you're using Canva, you may use, as I mentioned before, X, which is HEX, which stands for hexadecimal. If you don't see the colors in your color choices when you go into Canva, you may add the number in the color box, show it in the corner, by using the symbol of number followed by the X number as shown in the graphic. Once created the color, you can save the Toastmaster color palette for future graphics. If you're using PowerPoint, Word, or Publisher, you go to Home, click on Shape Fill. A window will pop out and you will choose the eyedropper. Another window will pop out and you will be given the option of colors. Make sure to choose custom colors. You should be able to write the numbers for RGB that I just showed you in the color palette previously. And make sure to click OK so you can save your color. That way you can use it for your next projects. If you're using Mac, it is very similar, and I believe you don't have to write down the numbers, but with the eyedropper, you just have to click over the element that you want to reproduce or recreate, the color you want to reproduce, and save it for your future graphics. Now that you learn a little bit more about the Toastmasters color palette, let's see some good examples of the good use of color palette and flyers, as well as the logo placement, because we already covered the logos. In both of the flyers, The logo is placed in a clear area and the text is easy to read, the dark colors over the light and the light over the dark backgrounds. The District 47 logo on the right flyer is well placed, the full color logo over the white background with enough space around it. Also, the District 47 blue and maroon sub-tagline placed over the yellow background, both easy to read and easy to follow. The graphics, both of these graphics are easy to read, easy to follow. They're not busy, not with a lot of distracting elements. These are very nicely done flyers. These are other two flyers very well done, both easy to read, easy to follow, both logos well placed with the requirement space around the logo and the correct font, both pictures nicely placed. These are all the elements that we have to pay special attention when putting together a graphic. To keep consistency, we have to make sure that we are using all Toastmasters brand elements to make nice graphics while at the same time complying with Toastmasters branding. This is an example of a very beautiful, professional looking graphic. Although you may think it's not violating Toastmasters branding, but it's not complying with Toastmasters branding either. The only reason this flyer is not necessarily violating the branding is because it's not using Toastmasters logo. However, because it is a division graphic and is referring to the clubs, it should comply with Toastmasters branding. You can add some elements such as in the graphic with the P for president, but it should comply with Toastmasters color branding. Like instead of the black background, it should be have the blue, maroon, or gray. The golden designs in the sides can also be added. The font should also comply with Toastmasters official font. In other words, this is a beautiful graphic, but does not shout Toastmasters anywhere. So keep that in mind. Talking about fonts, we discussed the logo, we discussed the color palette, and now we're going to go over the fonts. The fonts should look friendly and clean. Toastmasters font is Gotham or Myriad Pro. The most similar font available is Montserrat. The official fonts are Gotham, as you see here, and all the family of Gotham, and Myriad Pro. You can download these fonts for free. However, not all platforms support these fonts like Canva. The Source Sans Pro is the alternate font. If any of the platform you are utilizing have this font, feel free to use it in any Toastmasters graphic. Another alternate font that you can download for free and upload it to Canva is Montserrat. This is the most used for Toastmasters graphic. I'm not sure if it was already in my Canva or I just uploaded because I keep uploading fonts. But if it's not there, you can upload it. If you're using Office, Word, PowerPoint, or Publisher for your graphic, you may use Arial and all the different styles of the Arial family for your graphics. And Toastmaster recently added these two script fonts. You can download these fonts from the website, and you can download them into Canva if you have an account. So go crazy with these fonts because we have something new to show off. Now let's go over some images and photography. The image you post should be able to tell a story or the environment where the people look engaged, empowered, and supported, as portrayed in meetings, presentations, speeches, networking venues, conferences, training venues, and speech contests. Stay away from images that do not tell a positive story or people are bored or immersed on their phones. Don't use cartoons, illustration, or clip art materials created for clubs, area divisions, district, or regions. Toastmasters do not support any of these elements incorporated into the flyers. Always make sure to have permission to use and or reproduce any image and pictures utilized in your design that are protected by trademarks or copyrights. These never may be used, so please keep that in mind too. Whether your club is meeting in person or online, make sure to take pictures of what's happening in your club and in your meetings. You can download these and many more professional images from the website. But if you're promoting your club, you can utilize real people. The people in your club. It's a way to showcase your club and what's going on during the meetings. For me, those are the best. For example, if your club is meeting online, take a minute to tell everyone that you're going to be taking a snapshot at some point during the meeting. When the time comes, take a minute to announce everyone again to smile at the camera, not at the screen, but at the camera. You want to make sure that everyone is smiling during the picture. And why I say during the meeting and not at the beginning? Sometimes members or guests, they show up a little bit late or they have to leave early. You want to make sure that you have as many people as possible. If you have a break, you can do it before or after your break or before any of the sections of the meeting. That way you will have a better outcome. Once you make it part of your meeting, members will be more used to it and they will expect it. Also, encourage people to open their cameras. That way speaker doesn't feel that they're talking to the wall or to the screen. It's a way to practice for real meetings with real people. You can also create a template and you will only add a picture every week or anytime you have a meeting. And you can put like different information on your graphic and use it to promote your meetings. If your club is meeting in person, make sure that you take a moment to announce that you will be taking a picture. This way you can guarantee that everybody will be smiling and having fun. Try different angles, be creative, but make sure that people are paying attention. Make sure that no one is looking bored or distracted. And don't worry if the secretary is taking notes. As long as everybody else is paying attention and is engaged, is not immersed in their phone, that'll be perfect, like in this example. If your meeting is hybrid, the same thing. Take candid picture, fun picture. They don't have to be professional or perfect. The most important thing is that they don't look bored. As you can see, even the dog is engaged. Keep in mind that these pictures can be incorporated into your graphics, whether it's to announce a meeting or a special event. So start taking pictures to build up your club, district, or area picture gallery. That way you can use all these pictures in your graphics and your future events. I promise that I will share with you where to find the resources on Toastmasters website. And here it is. The time has come. Once you're in Toastmasters website, toastmasters.org, you're going to go to resources, click on brand portal, and you're going to click on brand manual. And you will be directed to Toastmasters' new updated brand manual, where you'll be able to find everything you need to create wonderful flyers. You will be able to find all the logos and download them with the transparent background, as I mentioned so many times during this presentation. You can download professional images, and there are two ways to download these images. Once you're in this page, you can click on the button that says Toastmasters brand images, or instead going to the brand manual. When you're in the brand portal, you can click on brand images and both of them will take you to the same place. You'll be able to find all Toastmasters professional images, and you can choose the image that you want to download, selecting it and download, or you can choose to download all of them and save it into a file ready to use. You can download anytime you want and have them available to use. Some of the helpful links that may help you create those wonderful flyers, poster, whatever graphic you may need to promote your club, district, or even the division are Toastmasters website, toastmaster.org, where you'll be able to find every single element you may need to create those wonderful graphics. District 47 website. If you haven't visited District 47 website, you need to visit it. In this website, you're going to be able to find everything that's going on in District 47, Southeast Florida, and the island of the Bahamas, including workshops, events, training, what's going on either in South Florida or in the Bahamas. So make sure to visit Toastmaster District 47 website and get lost in the page. find out everything that's going on in our district. Canva.com. If you do not have a Canva account, you can open a Canva account for free. It's very easy to use. There are many tutorials in Canva. And if you don't have any idea where to start, there are plenty of templates for you to get lost and be creative. And again, pretend that you're a graphic designer. MailChimp, if you like to create newsletter to promote your club, send emails, you can open a free account and send very fun and creative emails, either to your members or guests that sign up when visiting your club. And you can open a free account. There's also Contact, which is basically the same as MailChimp. I believe they used to have a free account. I think they no longer do that. But because these pages are always changing the requirements, who knows? Maybe they have a free account now. As I mentioned previously, I hope you walk away with as much information as you can to make sure that you will be able to make beautiful graphics for your club, your area, your division, and even the district by complying with Toastmasters brand. I believe we have time for some Q&A.
Thank you first, Jeannie. That was fabulous. I think you did a really, really good job. And you're right, the new fonts are really cool. So my question to you is, and this is for everybody here, when in doubt, what do you do? If we're not sure if the flyer we're creating is a branded flyer, what should the individual or the club do? What would you recommend?
You can go to the website and find out the requirements, if like the branding, like the color, the logos, everything that I just mentioned here, or you can send it to the public relations team if you have any question. I believe we also have a WhatsApp group for questions about branding or anything related to public relation. I think that would be another suggestion.
So Andrea, can you put the PRM team's email address in the chat? So if anybody does want to email you, they can reach out to your team.
And feel free to send any email questions to my email also. I will happily and gladly respond any questions you may have regarding branding information, a question.
What is the guidelines for using a color gradient? Like if I want to make a gradient of the blue or the maroon or the yellow or whatever, may I have you?
So we did not cover those gradients in this presentation because of the lack of time. I thought we were going to cut very, very short. But those guidelines, you can find them on the website, either for the different colors, yellow, maroon, blue, and the gray. You have the specific gradients for all of them. And you also have a background for the blue, maroon, to use it in the background per se. So there are specifications for those gradient colors. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you that took the time to attend to this workshop tonight and to learn how to use Toastmaster brand the proper way. I can't wait to see plenty of your wonderful graphics. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, JCintron at toastmastersd47.org, and I will happily answer any question. Thank you and have a great evening.